It's showtime at the Dan Rodden Theater again, where the Mask will be performing their spring play. Hello, I'm Justin Geck.
And I'm Nick Palayo. Have any travel plans? A new airline will be able to connect Philly to Ireland. We have all of this and more coming up on LTV News, where the action never stops.
Hello and welcome to LTV News, where we bring you everything from 20th and Olney Avenue, Philadelphia, and the world.
There is a lot to catch up on in the next half hour, as LTV News had the opportunity to sit down with a professor who was recently on a popular game show for this week's interview. So let's hear the buzz around campus. Are you an international student ready to be committed to the international programs that LaSalle has to offer? Well, you can now apply to be an international ambassador. Being an international ambassador is a great way to educate others on your own culture and to network with students on a deeper level. It is also a great way to welcome newer international students to the LaSalle University family. Applications are due on April 15th, so if you have any questions, contact Vanessa Cintrone through email at cintrone@lasalle.edu or visit the Multicultural and International Center.
On Friday, April 6th, the Mask will be beginning their performances for their spring production of Tom Stoppard's Arcadia, which concerns the relationship between past and present. The production will take place at the Dan Rodden Theater in the Union Building. Tickets will be sold at the door for a variety of prices. For current LaSalle students, Students' Activities Fee is allowing one free ticket to a performance of your choice. Opening night is on Friday, April 6th and begins at 7 p.m. Performances continue the rest of the weekend and then pick up again on Thursday, April 12th. Closing night is Saturday, April 14th at 7 p.m. For a list of dates and times, you can head over to the Mask of LaSalle Facebook page. Be sure to come out and support our students at one of these great performances.
The search is underway for who could possibly replace John Giannini as the next head coach for LaSalle's men's basketball team. The most popular rumor being floated around is current Villanova assistant and former LaSalle assistant Ashley Howard. Howard has spent his entire career in the city of Philadelphia and would be able to bring that recruiting knowledge to the school. Other popular candidates include Towson head coach Pat Skerry and Lincoln University head coach Doug Overton. A dark horse for the job, and perhaps fan favorite, is current ESPN analyst and LaSalle alum Tim Legler. Legler played at LaSalle in the 80s and went on to have a 12-year career in the NBA. However, this pairing coming to fruition is less likely than some other potential candidates because Legler has zero coaching experience.
One of LaSalle's very own professors, Dr. Mark Lashley, was a contestant on the game show Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. Caitlin Page just sat down with Dr. Lashley to talk about his experience. Check it out.
So Dr. Lashley, you have quickly become one of our communication professor stars, so to speak, down here on South Campus due to your appearance on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire.
That's right, that was me.
Congratulations, that's an awesome experience.
Thank you very much.
So how does one go about this process?
It's relatively straightforward, but it did involve me getting up at about 6 o'clock in the morning and going to Sugar House, where I had heard that they were going to have an open audition. And so I got down there. I was one of the first people in line, trying to kind of get it over with so that I'd be able to get on with my day. And I kind of just did it on a whim. I mean, it was pretty simple.
Yeah, and you have a history with being good at Quizzo, so to speak.
Yeah, I'm a big trivia fan. I have like a DVR Jeopardy because I don't watch it all the time, and then I make sure I watch that watch pretty much every episode. So I like that a lot. I play pub Quizzo and stuff like that, on a pretty regular basis. I'm into like a big online trivia league that actually has like a lot of famous Jeopardy contestants and stuff in it. So I really do like trivia. I like knowing really goofy stuff. Not that I know a lot about any specific topic, but I know a little bit about enough stuff that I can kind of get by.
Very cool. So has Who Wants to Be a Millionaire been one of your favorite shows or something that you've been interested to get involved in?
Funnily enough, not really. When I was in the communication program at University of Scranton, we had a professor who was really into Who Wants to Be a Millionaire and actually took us on field trips twice when like Regis Philbin was still the host. So I've been actually in the audience for Who Wants to Be a Millionaire probably as many times as I've actually sat and watched it on TV. It's not a show that I really watch very often. I didn't even know who the host was now until I went to audition for the show. So I watched it a little bit leading up to my audition to kind of get a sense of what they were looking for. But it's really not one of my favorites. There's not enough questions. It's not fun to kind of play along at home.
Yeah.
But I figured if they're going to audition and you know there's a chance to win some money, why not do it?
Yeah, and I definitely think it's more high stress. Even though Jeopardy is very stressful, I feel like whenever you want Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, like maybe it's the music or that it's one-on-one, I feel like it's more stressful.
I think anytime you're on TV trying to answer questions, it's stressful. But I think
Sorry.
I think Who Wants to Be a Millionaire is probably a little bit nervier than some of the other shows.
Yeah.
Specifically because they do call it the hot seat. It really feels like you're really in the spotlight under the lights. They want to know a lot about you, and the questions are kind of tricky. They're not like written where it's kind of you just know it. You have to kind of reason your way through the question, which is why they want you to talk and all of that stuff. And it is kind of it is pretty nerve-wracking for sure. I think some of the other shows might be a little bit less stressful maybe.
So you were accepted to go out to Las Vegas and be on the show. Do you sit in the audience and like you're going to be on? Because it always seems like it's a little bit of a shock. Like people are just in the audience and they're like, "Hey, come on down. This person from."
Well, nowadays they've actually changed that, and it's they know all the contestants beforehand. So basically, I showed up. They film everything, maybe 5 or 6 episodes a day for like 7 or 8 weeks. So that's their entire season. So I went out there in July. And sat in a room with maybe 20 other people who all knew that they were going to be on the show, and some of whom like probably didn't even make it on that day and had to come back the next day and stuff like that. So we all knew we were going to be on the show, and basically they kept us in a room. They took our cell phones and all of our devices and stuff like that away. The only entertainment we were given was old episodes of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. They gave us food and stuff like that, but we were quote sequestered from gameplay, so we weren't allowed to be in the audience at all actually. So we would hear like cheering and stuff like that when people got questions right, but we had no idea what was going on, and that makes it kind of stressful as well, because you're like, I just want to be next and I want to get on the show, and they don't even tell you when you're going to be on, so just know it's going to be that day sometime.
Yeah. Did you prepare for this in any way, or is just like all your history of being?
I didn't prepare well enough.
Okay.
Or at least I would say so. Like the question that I had to walk away from was a Shakespeare question, and I had been sitting on the plane on my laptop looking at Shakespeare trivia and thinking that it was a topic that might come up, and I just didn't study enough for it.
Yeah.
So, I feel kind of stupid with some stuff like that I could have prepared a little bit better. But really, there's not a lot you can study. It's really, the questions are kind of tricky, and so you kind of have to think more logically to kind of pick out the answers that are clearly wrong, more than like the right answer just pops into your head. So it's, there's a lot of prep you could do, but it's also, they call you a week beforehand and tell you you're going to be on the show, and you don't have a whole lot of time.
Yeah. Would you consider maybe doing another game show?
I've been applying for Jeopardy every year since I can remember, and that's the show I really want to be on, because that's the one I'm really into, and so here's hoping. I have to wait at least 1.5 years before I'm allowed to be on.
Oof. Okay.
So.
Well, you definitely built up your resume. If they want a copy of that, you can say that you were on.
I can say I did something.
Yeah, definitely. So congratulations
Thank you.
on even like being accepted. That's awesome. And good luck with Jeopardy. I hope that works out in a year and a half.
Yeah,
Hope to see you on there. Thanks for being
Thank
on
you
to
very
talk to
much.
us.
Nick, I'm glad Dr. Lashley got that opportunity. It sounds like he's quite the trivia connoisseur.
Yeah, I had a chance to actually watch the episode, and he's actually my advisor, so it was cool to see a little Explore Pride on the show.
Definitely.
Yeah.
It's time for our first break, but when we come back, we'll talk about the opening of a new video game exhibit. Stay tuned.
Hi, this is Eddie Dunn, host of LaSalle's favorite TV game show, Q&A. I'm here today to tell you to watch LaSalle TV. Though if you're seeing this commercial, that means you're already watching LaSalle TV. So I guess keep it up. You're doing an awesome job. I hope you like what you're seeing. Good job.
OMG, join LaSalle TV, it's the place to be. What we got is what you need. Come and follow me on a trip through the campus with my squad at the Union and the Union. See my man's Todd at the call on the hammers like a savage. He be on the camera like 1, 2, 3, action. Mix the sounds back to back and that's a fact. D1 Sports we never lack. Calm center, almost there, north to south. Man, that walk is never fed. Passing battles straight to Newman. See some kids and tell them join the crew. As you enter the studio with the new recruits. LaSalle TV, enjoy it near you.
What's up? Eddie Dunn here, host of LaSalle's favorite TV game show, Q&A. I'm here to tell you to keep watching LaSalle TV. It's on 24 hours a day, every day. You know what else is on 24 hours a day, every day? Nothing. Well, maybe some things, but nothing that's as important as LaSalle TV. So keep watching, or else.
Hook to the dollar featuring on my mind. Return of the creature that crawled up from the subway line. You're always keeping me waiting, keeping me waiting for you.
Philadelphia International Airport welcomes their 6th foreign airline in the past year with Aer Lingus, the Ireland flag-carrying airline. They will offer flights to 21 different locations around Europe, along with their direct route to Ireland. Flights will begin 4 days a week and will become daily on May 18th. The flights start around $429 and take off from Philadelphia at 5:30 p.m. and arrive in Dublin at 5:10 the next morning. On March 25th, the first Aer Lingus arrived in Philadelphia from Dublin and was welcomed by Mayor Kenny and other officials with the traditional water cannon salute, along with Irish music, shepherd's pie, and cheesesteaks.
This past week, leadership from Einstein Healthcare Network and Jefferson Health have announced the signing of a non-binding letter of intent to merge the two healthcare systems. If the merger is completed, Jefferson's treatment network would expand to 18 hospitals, with the newest addition of Einstein reconnecting a previous alliance between the healthcare systems. Jeff's CEO Stephen Klasko believes that due to similar values between Jeff and Einstein, both organizations will be able to increase regional healthcare accessibility. This is the 6th acquisition that Jefferson has pursued since current CEO Stephen Klasko took over in 2013, including such acquisitions as Abington, Frankfurt, and Kennedy Healthcare Systems. This most recent merger with Einstein will combine Moss and McGee rehab centers, nationally recognized institutions, while also forming one of the largest graduate medical programs in the country. This could unfortunately mean job cuts when considering previous Jeff mergers. However, the current CEO of the Einstein Network has continually emphasized the growth and possibility that this type of transaction could provide.
2 Philadelphians are being honored for a split-second decision that saved the lives of 2 men. Louis Moreno and Thomas Brown of Philadelphia are among 18 recipients of the Carnegie Medal. The medal is awarded to civilians who perform extraordinary acts of heroism in everyday life. Moreno and Brown were nominated for the award after saving swimmers from drowning in North Wildwood back in 2016. The two rushed into the water, battling strong currents and large waves to help 2 struggling swimmers get to shore. The Carnegie Medal has been awarded to over 10,000 people since 1904. It was started by steelmaker Andrew Carnegie, who believed that ordinary citizens have the potential to do extraordinary acts and should be rewarded for doing them.
The Franklin Institute opened Game Masters, an exhibit dedicated to the innovations of video games. Callie Montana got to visit the new exciting museum exhibit. Check it out.
3, 2, 1, go! If you're a hardcore gamer, then the Franklin Institute is where you want to be. With over 100 playable games, their new Game Master exhibit allows you to take an interactive journey inside your favorite video game. From Pac-Man to Donkey Kong to Sims and to Lego Star Wars, there is something for everyone.
So we love that multi-generational family as a target audience for us. So really this exhibit has something for everybody. Whether you grew up in the arcade era or Minecraft is your thing, we've got a little bit of something in between as well.
Visitors will be able to gain some new knowledge when it comes to video games being brought to life. They will also have the opportunity to appreciate the artwork that is created in order to bring the characters to life.
But you know, to be honest, the artwork that is kind of supporting these games and seeing how these designers kind of create and design has been a really great part of it as well.
The Game Master exhibit is now open and will run through September 3rd. For LTV News, I'm Callie Montana.
Well, that looked like a fun and interactive exhibit. You know, I hope you
Yeah.
get over there before, you know, it leaves.
Yeah, I actually think I'm going down there for an honors lab pretty soon.
Oh,
so
are you?
I'm curious to check it out and see what it's all about. So I'm
Yeah,
pretty
definitely.
excited. Coming up after this last commercial break, we will take a look at the most unusual Uber ride to date.
LTV News, where the action never stops.
I love watching LTV News. I love watching LTV News every Sunday at 10:30. I love LTV News producer Dave Roberts.
Before I go to class on Monday mornings, I watch LTV News at 8 a.m.
I love watching Kirsten and Callie on LTV News.
Tuesdays at 10, we watch LTV News.
Researchers made a remarkable discovery of a coffin that was thought to be empty at a university museum. The Egyptian coffin was mistakenly marked as empty since its arrival at the University of Sydney's museum in the 1860s. What was thought to be just debris for the past 150 years was recently discovered to be human remains and thousands of beads from a funeral shawl. Hieroglyphics suggest that the coffin dates back to 600 BC, possibly belonging to a noblewoman named Mernithidus. However, this project is still in the beginning stages of research to see what else can be uncovered from this discovery.
New Jersey's new medical marijuana regulations could open the program to over 100,000 new patients. The program allows for 50 new ailments to be allowed access to medical marijuana, including chronic pain illnesses such as arthritis, lupus, diabetes, and migraines. These changes are part of Governor Phil Murphy's plan to change the stigma behind medical marijuana for both patients and doctors. Murphy states, quote, "People who use medical marijuana are patients, not criminals," end quote. Changing the medical marijuana limits is also hoped to create a positive alternative to addictive drug use for pain management.
A student-led event demanding stronger gun control laws was held in Washington, D.C. on March 24th. Justin Gick had the chance to go down and see it for himself. Check it out.
We're here in our nation's capital today, where the National March for Our Lives is taking place. 500,000 people are expected to be going down Pennsylvania Avenue towards the White House. This stage behind me is only steps from the Capitol building, and students and musical artists are expected to take the stage and talk about their experiences, as well as how to get lawmakers to take more serious action on what we need to do to improve our school safety. Take a listen and see what we learned today. As supporters and activists lined Pennsylvania Avenue at the March for Our Lives rally, there was one woman who had a special sign that stood out. Her name, Judy Bullock, an aunt of 2 Stoneman Douglas High School survivors she supports and is saying,
it's up to the kids to do it because we adults have not done a very good job. So I'm going to say MSD Strong is what they call themselves now. That's the movement name. But I'm marching today not just for them, but for everyone, because all students deserve to be safe.
The students of Stoneman Douglas High School took to the stage. The most vocal, David Hogg, said this about politicians and gun violence.
96 people die every day from guns in our country, yet most representatives have no public stance on guns. And to that, we say no more.
As activists continued to march past the Capitol building, the message was quite clear. No more dead kids. Bullock and Hogg's final message to the lawmakers.
I hope it terrifies them because these students will either are voting or are close to voting. And if they do, and that's the big problem because we do know statistically that young people don't vote in the numbers that they need to be voting in, but if they do, then their days, the lawmakers' days, are limited.
To those politicians supported by the NRA that allow the continued slaughter of our children and our future, I say get your resumes ready.
Reporting from the March for Our Lives in Washington, D.C., I'm Justin Geck, LaSalle TV News.
So, Justin, tell me a little bit more about this event.
Well, it was a really amazing opportunity. It was really interesting to hear how these kids speak in person. They were really eloquent.
Very articulate.
Yeah, it was also interesting to hear Judy's story as well. I hope to do another story, but I want to focus more on LaSalle students and see their reaction to campus safety as well.
I'm curious to see how that pans out. Looking forward to it. In 2015, the mother of 2-year-old Zania Brown was told that her daughter would need a liver transplant after medical tests revealed a rare liver condition. Brown was put on a transplant list in July 2017, and by November 2017, a perfect match arrived from a complete stranger. 27-year-old Christian Vaughn was originally tested to be a liver donor for a family friend's son. But after the child ended up receiving a liver from another donor, Vaughn insisted that he donate to another child who was in need of a transplant. He was matched with now 4-year-old Brown and gave her 30% of his liver, enough to be a full liver for Brown. The two were reunited 3 months after as Brown recovered from a successful surgery. Vaughn was told that the results of the procedure were perfect and that the liver achieved full function.
It's been 2 years since 10-year-old Caleb Schwab was decapitated while riding the world's tallest water slide, the Verrückt. Now the co-owner of the water park, the designer of the water slide, and Henry & Sons Construction Company are being charged with second-degree murder, as well as 17 other felonies. Prosecutors are claiming that Jeffrey Henry, the co-owner of the water park, was the head designer and made all of the key decisions when it came to the Verrückt. The 62-year-old supposedly rushed the process of the slide in order to impress a reality TV show on extreme water parks. The Schuttelbahn Water Park put out a statement saying, quote, "We as a company and as a family will fight these allegations and have confidence that once the facts are presented, it will be clear that what happened on the ride was an unforeseeable accident."
A New Jersey man named Kenny Bakeman made one of the most expensive mistakes of his life. While he was in West Virginia, Kenny was very intoxicated and ordered an Uber ride to take him back to New Jersey. The total cost of his ride came out to about $16,000. Kenny did not have the money to pay this, so he started a GoFundMe page looking for donations, but he only got $50. The founder of a New Jersey company named Eat Clean Bro has decided to pay Kenny's fare because he chose to not drive while he was intoxicated. Well, that is one crazy story.
It is. Wow, is all I can say.
I guess that's what happens when you're drunk. You do crazy things.
I know.
Like order a $16,000 Uber ride.
And then not even to have the money, though.
I know. But you know what? Ended with a happy ending. This company, Eat Clean Bro, because he chose to not drive while intoxicated, is paying for his fare. So it turned out to be a happy ending. But this is definitely one for the record books.
Definitely.
For sure. Well, that just about does it for this episode, but be sure to find us on the web as well as the rest of LaSalle TV on our Facebook page. We love to hear your thoughts, so tweet at us using our Twitter handle and start the conversation.
If you missed the scoop and want to see it, you can find episodes on YouTube on our LaSalle TV Philly page.
Until next time, for Caitlin and the entire crew, I'm Nick Palayo. Thanks for watching LTV News, where the action never stops.